we talked about going, out with your RV, and we've had this on before where we talked about the silver bullet, right?
All right, you want to do this? Let's do this. Okay.
Let's do this one.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. So we'll close it with this one, I guess, right?
We'll close it with this one, yes.
So this is fun when you sort of end up not exactly where you planned, but that's all right. It's,
I'm just kind of weaving the basket, man.
This has become a theme with us on this program. I just reference a jazz musician and say, you throw anything you want at me and I'll find my way to improvise out of it. Okay.
Right on.
So
sounds good.
Now, we talked about this before. I feel like the news is more in what the other people are doing, but let's go ahead and, okay, so Airstream has confirmed that they are going to make an electric assist silver bullet, as Jay referred to it.
They are
RV.
moving forward, man.
And this makes a lot of sense from the standpoint of
so much sense.
More people having EVs and those Airstreams, at least at this point, being lighter. Now, when you start adding a bunch of batteries in there, it is going to affect that weight significantly. But if you're going to tow something with your EV, like, for example, a Tesla Model X, you're going to reduce your range because of that added tow load that you're pulling. So if they're able to supplement that by battery packs or whatever they're going to do in this Airstream, that would be a huge plus. But also, and this is something that I know and you know, Jay, and I just think more people aren't aware of it, and I don't know why the RV parks aren't capitalizing on it more. Okay, so we just said it takes 220 most of the time to rapid charge these EVs, right?
Right.
Where can you easily find 220 that has had 220 or 50 amp service for decades all over the United States? People have been plugging their RVs into those power poles for years and years and years. There's always a couple spots open. Well, there used to be before everybody went out and bought an RV last year. But during the day, before somebody checks in, if you need to power up for 30 minutes, pull in. That's extra revenue for the RV park owner. He's letting you charge your Tesla or whatever.
Right.
So it makes sense to be able to, if you're going to pull your Airstream in and plug it in anyway, well, now you can charge it up and charge your EV up and be on your way, right?
There's a couple of things here. The electric assist is not only that storage, but it also is going to be equipped with electric motors just like the vehicle has. So in a specific mode, it'll be just like, I would assume it'll be just like a coupler, and you're braking, and when you have power assist brake or electric brakes and all the couplers that you hook up for that to where it works in tandem with the vehicle. This is going to be the same way, to where it will be talking to the vehicle, knowing, like, computer to computer.
Right.
We'll be talking to each other and basically saying, okay, we're going up a hill now, and the RV that also has motors that can drive will be able to assist the vehicle up with a lot less power loss.
Right.
In other words, giving it that extra 2 cylinders it may need if it were an ICE vehicle, internal combustion engine vehicle.
If they do any power transfer at all, they are going to have to come up with a new generation of trailer plug connectors, because the existing wiring can't handle that.
Yeah. So you might ask why in the world would anybody be doing this? Well, it just makes great sense. Look, timing is good because you've got, over the next 2 years, supposedly what's going to be hitting the market is the Tesla Cybertruck, the Rivian R1T, the Lordstown Endurance, the GMC Hummer EV, and the Ford F-150 electric vehicle. Look, man, you gotta you're buying them for a purpose.
Yep.
Not just because they're electric. You need a truck, not just because it's electric, but you're doing your part for the carbon neutrality factor, if you're that conscious of that, and that's what you want, but you also like to RV, and there's going to be tons of people doing this. This is just, it's a no-brainer, in my opinion, for these guys to be doing
now,
this.
Thor Motor Coach is the parent of Airstream. And what's interesting to me, and that's their kind of one of their premium RV brands, Airstream, is that Camping World let the cat out of the bag not too long ago, that they are partnered with several other RV organizations that are doing the same thing. And that to me is interesting because Camping World, who's probably the largest RV dealer in the country, has an interest and now may become a manufacturer of their own product line with a game changer, right? So they get this to market first, because you can't, if I'm not mistaken, unless you buy used, you cannot buy a new Airstream at a Camping World. That's a luxury dealer line. It's like buying a Lexus or an Acura or a BMW. You got to go to a specific luxury dealer for an Airstream, right? So Lordstown Motors is working with Camping World on that effort.
That's right.
And that looks to be interesting for the reasons I just mentioned, that this could be a game changer in the RV industry if you have a dealer-manufacturer situation.
You know what, man? Absolutely. And as we're talking about this, with COVID, and RV sales are through the roof now. You can't get a slip in a campground without at least a year out. You just have to wonder, when you have a product like this coming out, you have an electric vehicle, and you have a way to store electricity for that vehicle, in an economical and efficient way. It's very appealing. I wonder if we're not moving into some sort of nomadic type people, man. Are we going to be that? Is our society turning? Because you got Starlink up there now, where you're going to have Wi-Fi
anywhere. What are you even going to be, Jay? Have you not met me? I mean, have we met?
I know you, but I'm talking about people that have never done this before, and
I want them all to move to Nashville, and then I'll leave. Right? That's the plan.
And why this is important, why I bring this up, is because people are moving out of cities in droves, record numbers of people. They're buying RVs, and they're getting out from underneath their houses. They can work anywhere. Pay attention to this market, man. It's I might advise we buy stock in Ultium Battery, and I said that in our last podcast.
You buy some land up that you can convert into RV parks.
Oh man, there's a lot of land in this country that has not been bought up. Quit putting subdivisions up, man. Just make an RV park. Right?
There's a shortage right now.
I know
it's feast or famine with those things, though. They're either doing really well or they're struggling.
Yeah. Guys, for me, it's stories like this that we have talked about several times that really excite me for this industry, because things are starting to kind of come together and move into that direction, where there's a lot of naysayers out there saying that the EVs won't work. We don't have the infrastructure. While I agree with some of the statements that have been made out there about the EV market, it's going to happen. Will it be by 2040 that we're completely carbon neutral? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But we are certainly seeing companies make that effort to get there, which is more than we've seen in the past decade. Just in the last 2 years, we have really seen that uptick. And I believe that COVID, this worldwide pandemic, has really assisted
has altered the course of
the acceleration of this whole thing, man. I really do.
It remains to be seen how embedded the EV platform can get before another generation comes in to compete. Meaning, is it going to be hydrogen fuel cells, or is it going to be solid state, or whatever? But the longer we are in EV phase, battery operated automobiles, the more people buy those, the more of a standard it becomes. So anybody that's got a plan for something else, you better hurry up and get it to market.
Right. And just like we always say, if you don't have a smartphone or a computer and you're not so computer literate, you're going to get left behind, because these are you can make those excuses, man, but if you're not understanding what is happening right in front of you, right before your eyes, don't say no. Don't say it ain't going to happen, because it is happening. The movement is on. The electrification of vehicles is on, my friend. So, wow.
I hate to be the one to break this to you, but automobiles are not human. They have no lineage or personality.
I wonder why I keep forgetting that.